Another Ahsoka video? Yeah, what can I say? I just can't let it go. I've spent a lot of time on YouTube criticizing Ahsoka, almost an hour and 53 minutes in fact. It's often said that it's easier to criticize than it is to create. There's truth in that, but you know what's harder than creating? Creating something that doesn't suck. How much harder? Well, in the grand scheme of things, if you have some idea of what you're doing, it's just a little more effort. And I'm going to prove that to you. I'm going to fix Ahsoka, or at least improve a few select parts of it, just by rearranging it a little. So let's get our editing hats on and dive right in. Starting with this scene from the very beginning of episode 4. Let's watch it all the way through.
I'm gonna try again.
Affirmative.
Come in, Home 1, do you read us? Hera, do you copy? Come in, Home 1, this is Fulcrum and Pete, do you read us? Over. Still no good.
I will try to cannibalize some wiring from the secondary motivator and see if I can rewire the transmitter.
Where's Ahsoka?
Outside.
Comms are still down and the primary power converter is offline. We can't send a distress signal and our ship isn't going anywhere.
Yang said their ground base isn't far.
Okay, that was boring and mostly pointless, so let's watch it again. Sabine comes in and sits down.
I'm gonna try again.
Affirmative.
Come in, Home 1, do you read us?
She tries to get the radio working.
Hera, do you copy? Come in, Home 1, this is Fulcrum and Pete, do you read us? Over.
It's still broken.
Still no good.
She stands up and we see her get her legs caught up in the set, while Hu Yang does some technobabble.
The transmitter.
Then Sabine asks a silly question.
Where's Ahsoka?
Outside.
Then Sabine walks out. This scene delivers information that we don't need, and what little tension it develops dissipates by the time we get to the next scene. I'm going to re-edit this so that it's tighter and with more overlapping action. It should be more tense, and that tension will be retained into the next scene where it can be built upon rather than having to be rekindled like a damp campfire.
Come in, Home 1, do you read us? Hera, do you copy? Come in, Home 1, this is Fulcrum and Pete, do you read us? Over. Still no good.
I will try to cannibalize some wiring and see if I can rewire the transmitter.
Comms are still down and the primary power converter is offline. We can't send a distress signal and our ship isn't going anywhere.
There we go. We didn't need to see Sabine enter the room or leave. We didn't need to hear her ask where Ahsoka is, and no one really cares what part of the ship Hu Yang gets his wires from. This is how grown-ups edit. Obviously I couldn't remix the sound, I could only cross-fade or duck the audio, but even limited to just the footage from the finished episode, there was a lot of room for improvement. And that's really the point of this video. As terrible as the show was, there were a lot of good ingredients.
It didn't need to come to this.
They just needed to be handled differently. Next, we have a scene from episode 7 that I've already complained about in a previous video.
Deploy teams 1 and 2 use counter and circle in tandem.
We have them.
Our side is short one mercenary. Where's Belen's gone?
What's the complaint? Well, obviously Thrawn is giving instructions.
Deploy teams 1 and 2 use counter and circle in tandem.
Sounds like Dave Filoni's idea of military jargon, but the real problem here is that what's depicted on the tabletop and in the exterior shots is already in progress before Thrawn speaks. It's not hard to fix.
Stay in there and shut the door.
Deploy teams 1 and 2 use counseling cycle in tandem.
We have them.
Our side is short one mercenary. Where's Bell and Scott?
All I had to do was trim a bit out, move things around, then remask and scale this shot to hide the tabletop. How long did it take me? About as long as it takes a 3-year-old to eat a bowl of cereal. I know this because she was doing that right in my ear the whole time. So what's Disney's excuse? I'm not blaming the editor here. Something went wrong between the live-action shoot and the visual effects. I don't know what the problem was, but this scene was salvageable as I just demonstrated. So how many levels of nobody gives a shit were they on when they made this show? Here's another scene from episode 4, and it's a little more complicated to fix.
Relax.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
I know how much Ezra means to you. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
You really believe that?
When the stakes are this high, I have to.
And one more.
How tiresome was that? We watch Sabine scrounging around in her bag, and then we get another iteration of a conversation we just saw them have minutes before.
I know how much Ezra means to you. If we can't make the journey to find Ezra, then no one should. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings. I fear we face a difficult choice.
He'd be stranded out there. Maybe this time for good.
Better that than allowing Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
You really believe that?
When the stakes are this high, I have to. Can I count on you?
You know you can.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
If Dave Filoni has a superpower, it's to write a script that's both bloated and thin at the same time. But editing can fix a bad script, even after the shoot is wrapped. There's nothing superpowered about that. Watch me fix this scene live. Not literally live, just desktop captured. Alright, here we are in Adobe Premiere. If you've never done the editing before, you're about to get a taste of just how boring and fascinating it can be at the same time. So here's my clip. I'm scrubbing through it. I'm going to turn on my Darth Vader overlay. Maybe that will help with the copyright scan. I don't know. Anyway. We're going to keep this establishing shot of the guys walking by, but we're going to trim the beginning of the scene proper here a little bit. Does something with her wristband thing. We can go farther. Let's start there. We're not going to cut right on the gun opening up, or closing rather. That would be a bit jarring, but we're going to just use as much anticipation as there is resolution. So just watch this. That's probably good. So with Premiere, wherever the cursor is and what you see on the screen is to the right. So the frame to the right of the cursor is the next frame. So I'm going to cut right there. And why is that important? Because when we want to remove something completely, we need to know what the first frame is that we're cutting from a continuous clip. There we go. Cut. And that's delete that. And then back the rest of it up. We're just going to go one edit at a time here. That's good. Did you see that? That was supposed to be a cut on motion, and it sort of was, but this looks like two takes overlapping each other in a way that's too loose. Like, look at this. She opens her gun, and then she's like, it's empty. She does a little motion there, but then the same motion is just barely perceptible in the next setup. You just barely see it. So let's tighten that up a bit. Okay, that's probably good. Delete that, back everything up. This is what editing is, rewatching the same thing over and over again. That's cleaner. Scrounging in the bag, scrounging in the bag. Ahsoka's like, huh? What's wrong with her? And then she walks all the way over. Sabine's still scrounging the bag. Okay. So to start with, there's this weird close-up which is rotated around to her right, frame left. It's the right axis, but it's, I don't know, it's stupid. That's all I can say. But look at Ahsoka. She reaches. There is Sabine. And then Ahsoka's reaching again. So this is like another aborted cut on motion. So let's just remove this whole thing. If it was supposed to be a cut on motion that they didn't use, the continuity is bad too. Okay. So we're going to cut all of this out. And what we end up with might be a couple beats too short, but that's the footage we have to work with. And the actual editor of this show would have had more to work with, like the whole take. And someone watching this for the first time probably wouldn't notice. It's certainly less noticeable than watching her scrounge in her bag continuously for way too long. All right. Delete. Back that up.
Relax.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
I know how much Ezra means to you.
Yeah, we all know by now. We've been told this thousands of times. So let's get rid of that line of dialogue and just we'll make this more tense and less boring at the same time. So we can use this as a cut on motion. They kind of did it here, but there was too much of it. So let's just close in on that. That's probably good.
How much Ezra means to you.
So instead of some obvious dialogue, we're going to get something that's unspoken, but Sabine knows exactly what Ahsoka's not talking about. Watch this.
Relax.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
You really believe that?
When the stakes are this high, I have to.
Okay, so don't remind us that Thrawn is supposed to be the biggest threat in the universe, because this show didn't deliver on that, but let's make that unspoken as well.
Yeah, so there's cases when the stakes are this high.
So she's not going to say anything, she's just going to breathe.
Yeah, so there's cases.
You really believe that?
I have to.
It's kind of awkward, but in theory it works. Alright, I'm going to unlink all this audio and crossfade it so that it's less jarring. That's the best I can do with a mixed soundtrack. And let's take it from the top.
Relax.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
You really believe that?
I have to.
And one more.
Now see this pink region here? That's how much we cut out. Well, nearly 25%, 20% of it. It's still kind of boring, but it's better. Okay, one more scene. I think I will have proved my point. This is from episode 6.
Grand Admiral, the mercenaries have departed.
Good. Prepare to attack squads. Wait for Lord Balin's signal.
Should we not send more troops to support them?
During this exile,
I just want to interject here. That wasn't a freeze frame. The camera was rolling. This was a deliberate choice. Why, though? Was Thrawn just thinking of what to say? Was he reconsidering his decision? Let's roll it back a bit and continue.
Grand Admiral, the mercenaries have departed.
good. Prepare to attack squads. Wait for Lord Balin's signal.
Should we not send more troops to support them?
During this exile, our numbers have dwindled. So, no, 2 squads will suffice. Our primary objective is to escape this galaxy. It matters not whether Ren and Bridge are killed or stranded here. The same can be said for your 2 mercenaries.
You abandoned me!
If Thrawn really wanted to get rid of the mercenaries, not sending any help at all would have been the right choice. Aside from not making much sense, this scene becomes redundant when much of the dialogue is repeated in the next episode.
Grand Admiral, we received a signal pinpointing Bridger's location.
Dispatch 2 gunships to assist the mercenaries.
And then Thrawn's apparent disregard for the mercenaries that was set up in episode 6 is undermined by his own statements.
If Lord Balin proves capable, we may yet win the day. Our side is short 1 mercenary. Where's Balin's gone?
This confusion is easy to fix. We only need 1 edit here, and it's the best kind of edit. We're going to cut the scene out entirely. We're going to cut the shot of Balin and Shin riding out too. We know they're going after Sabine already. We don't need to see them leave. Now watch this.
You abandoned me!
How hard was that? Do we miss the shot of Balin and Shin riding out? Did that look cool? I guess. Here's an idea. Have cool shots that also accomplish something for the story. If a whole scene is a total waste of time, using an impressive visual to bridge that scene is just more waste. Another objection that I anticipate is that there's plenty of tight editing in this show. It's not all slow, sure. But what kind of scenes are those? Action scenes. The editing in action scenes would have to be at least as fast as the action, relatively speaking. But action scenes are actually easier and more straightforward to edit. That might sound counterintuitive, but think about it for a moment. When you're cutting fast action, there's only a few ways you can make each edit that will work. The faster the action gets, the more narrow that window of decision becomes. At a certain point, the decisions are made for you. Now, in defense of the editors, just about all the dialogue in Ahsoka is delivered at a very slow pace. There's only so much an editor can do about that without making things feel unnatural. This is going to sound weird, but this show's real problem was that there just wasn't enough of it. There wasn't enough story to fill 8 episodes. Slow or loose editing is not the solution to that problem. If the idea was to stretch everything as much as possible for the sake of watch minutes, it was a bad idea, because that's about as false an economy as you can imagine. It's like a restaurant that serves disgusting or bland food, assuming that by making the servings bigger, they can get people to eat more of it. If there were only 4 episodes of Ahsoka rather than 8, but the episodes were better, more people might have watched this show. And if a show was really good, people might have watched it twice. That's the solution, Hollywood. Make stuff that doesn't suck. And make less of it if you have to. Now, if you thought this video didn't suck, please take a moment to rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I might make another one. I want to thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.